So the first team of the night we're going to take and cover is going to be none other than the Cincinnati Bengals. Then after that, we'll move on to the Ravens, Steelers, and then of course the Cleveland Browns. Very controversial Cleveland Browns. All right, so let's go. Let's see. As you guys know, they went to the Super Bowl. These are the defending AFC champions. Big needs: cornerback, D line, tight end. Let's see who they got in the draft. All right, starting off with safety from Michigan, Daxton Hill. This was a great pickup. I really like this pickup. Not a big name by any means of the stretch, but he's somebody who was necessary for this team. He's somebody who's going to boost up that secondary. When you have, the division's filled with really good receivers, man. So to beef up your secondary is something that you definitely want to do. Let me go ahead and pull up his stats. He's 6 foot tall, 191 pounds. He could also take and be eventually he's going to be a starter, maybe even possibly right away. 4.38 40. So we're talking about a safety who has not only a 33-inch vertical jump, but he has a 4.38 40. This guy is a homing missile. Very excited to see what he does for the Cincinnati Bengals. Pulling up the rest of their draft picks right now. And then, of course, to finish off the draft, we have Cam Taylor-Britt. Again, cornerback, Nebraska. We have Zachary Carter, DN, Florida. This guy was a head buster, man. I really like him a lot. I thought he went a little early, but I like the pickup. Then we have them beef up their O-line with Cordell Volson, North Dakota State. One of the better guards in this entire draft. This is a really, really nice draft pick. Tyson Anderson, safety, Toledo. I haven't done too much research on him, but then we have Jeffrey Gunter, who is, I'm not going to lie, I thought he was going to be a UDFA, Jeffrey Gunter, but if you watch the tape on him, the dude is explosive. He's quick. He's fast. I see him not maybe a day one starter, but more a situational guy, maybe a third down guy, but should be interesting. Overall, I give the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going to give them a solid B. They beefed up their secondary. They have just about a complete offense, but I would like to see some other receivers in there in this draft. I also would have liked to maybe take and see a tight end as well, but also know they had a pretty solid free agency in which they got one of the best O-linemen in all of free agency from the Dallas Cowboys. So overall, I give them a B. Solid B, solid draft. They got better this year. Let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, there's been a lot of stuff happening in Baltimore. This is potentially Lamar Jackson's last year with the team. Hollywood Brown got traded to the Cardinals, y'all. And then also, and I only say that Lamar Jackson may or may not be with the team anymore because they don't seem completely sold on him. I don't know. It's weird. He's personally, I'm not even a Ravens fan, y'all, but he's one of my favorite quarterbacks in all of the NFL. I think he's absolutely stunning and fantastic. But let's see what we got here. All right. So you see here, folks, we got needs of linebacker, cornerback, and O-lineman. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's pull up these draft picks and see what we got. Boom. Safety, Kyle Hamilton. I tell you, the Ravens do not disappoint. They do not disappoint come draft time. Then they have Tyler Linderbaum, center, Iowa. Again, you're beefing up your O-line. Now, David Ojabo, edge rusher, Michigan. Dude, this guy was possibly a top 15 pick, and you get him in the second round. Now, mind you, he did take and tear his Achilles during, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe was his pro day. And unfortunately, he had the slide. But David Ojabo, he was a massive part of that Michigan defense, the same Michigan defense who took and shut down Ohio this year, y'all. So I love, just 3 picks in. We're just 3 picks in. Kyle Hamilton, best safety by far in this draft. Tyler Linderbaum, possibly best center in the draft. David Ojabo. Folks, let's continue. And smack my mama. Oh, don't put your hands on my mama. But Lord have mercy. Travis Jones, defensive tackle, Connecticut. Folks, UConn is not known for being a powerhouse at all. Look, I'm 33 years old. I remember when UConn was like a top 25 team back in high school, 06, 07. I remember Aaron Hernandez's brother, DJ Hernandez, when he was a quarterback there, right? I follow UConn for a long time, not more so recently, but Travis Jones, let me put it this way, all eyes are on UConn right now. This dude is a fantastic pickup. He is a bull rusher. Let's pull up his profile, and I'll get to the rest of these guys. I don't want to going to profile for every single person, but Travis Jones, man, folks, we're talking about early second, late first round talent. I had him going like pick number 30. I think what I had him going to the Packers or Chiefs or something like that towards the end of the first round. It's from Connecticut. Connecticut is not by far not a state that produces NFL players, man. But look, 6'4", 325 pounds, 4'9", 40. That's pretty good. I mean, he a lot of guys this size, they're 5'4", 5'3", and they're 40. That's a good 40 time. He's quick. He has some height. He could bat down passes. Look at this agility, 20-yard shuttle, 4.58. Gosh, I freaking love that, man. I freaking love it. And let's look at his stats, okay? He started 10 to 12 games, played as a freshman, 46 tackles, 5.5 of them were for losses. Sophomore year, he was 11 of 12. And let me see here. And then 2020, obviously, COVID happened. He did not start. And then 2021, he had 47 tackles, 7.5 for loss, 4.5 sacks, and 11 starts. That's pretty dang good, man. And watch the tape on him. Watch the film. Go to YouTube. Type in his name. This dude is going to be an absolute baller. Maybe not a day one starter, potentially, but that's a guy he's going to get in rotation. I'll say he'll probably get at least 2 sacks this year, man. I mean, his rookie year. I'm excited to take and see when Mr. Travis Jones does. But moving on. Okay, so we Travis Jones, and right here at Daniel Falele. Please forgive me if I'm saying his name wrong. Again, boosting up the offense. I mean, the O-line. I love this. I freaking love this. Jalen Armour Davis, cornerback, Alabama. You can't go. I mean, Alabama's practically an NFL team, y'all. I mean, you're gonna get people who are gonna be in good rotation. Charlie Kolar, tight end, Iowa State. You know, when it comes to tight ends, Ravens. They have them. They're going to have some of the best tight ends out there. And then, of course, Jordan Stout, punter, Penn State, top 3 punter in this entire draft. And he went in round 4, man. They could have got the dude from San Diego State, but they didn't. That's saying something, man. If my memory serves me correct, I believe Jordan was the first punter off the board. Then we move on to Isaiah Likely, tight end, Coastal Carolina. Demarion Williams, cornerback, Houston. Houston had a really nice secondary, y'all. They're really good. And then Tyler Batty. That's a funny last name because you know what they call girls these days. Oh, she a baddie. So that he's a baddie on the football field. Tyler Batty, running back in Missouri. I love this draft, folks. I'm gonna be real quick. I give this an A. I give this actually, hold on. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna give this a A- because I would have liked to see a receiver. Yeah. I would have really liked to see a receiver, but man, I mean, you know what it is, y'all. That they run the ball, they throw to their tight ends, run the ball, they keep it tight, you know. But then you have a guy like Lamar Jackson, man. Every now and then he'll spread the field and he'll get that ball down the field, man. So I know the receiver that he drafted last year's draft. Name's going over my head right now, but unfortunately he was injured, so we didn't get to see very much of him last year. But I would have liked to see a tight end, but it's okay, man. I really love what's going on here, and I think the Ravens shocked the world this year. I think they're going to be really exciting to watch. So A- is what I give the Baltimore Ravens. All right, folks, we're going to move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you guys have been waiting, and then we'll finish off the episode with the Cleveland Browns. Let's go next with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's read right here. Top needs: quarterback, cornerback, and receiver. Let's see what they got going on. Now, as you see right here, they got Mitch Trubisky. And, solid pickup. He's definitely not a starter in my opinion, but towards the end of his time when he was in Chicago, he did play pretty good. Pick 1, Kenny Pickett, quarterback, Pittsburgh. I freaking love this pick. George Pickens, absolute goon, head buster. I'm gonna expect maybe a fight or two his rookie year, man. He ain't nothing sweet, man. Certain conversations and certain circles and people talking online would even say George Pickens is the best receiver in this entire year's draft. It's tough, man, because there's Williams, there's Olave, a lot of guys, right? It's Jahan Dotson. It's again certain circles, man. But George Pickens is an absolute beast. Definitely slid out the first round. Could have went easily easily been a top 15 pick. Easily been a top 15 pick. So that's boom. George Pickens, DeMarvin Leo, defensive tackle, A&M, Texas A&M, Calvin Austin III, Memphis, Connor Hayward, man, keeping the Hayward name in the family, tight end, Michigan State. That's a nice little pickup. I like that. Mark Robinson, linebacker, Mississippi. And then they got another quarterback, Chris Oladokun, South Dakota State. Now, there's a little team that they go by the Commanders. Back in the day, they used to be called the Washington Redskins. And, dude, I remember they took and they got RG30, Robert Griffin III. He was going to be the next, Michael Vick. He was going to be the next great NFL quarterback, right? Well, they got Kirk Cousins. Now, a few rounds later, if my memory serves me correct, maybe third or fourth round or something like that. I like this. I think this is smart. And another thing, Coach Mike Tomlin, kudos to him. He took and said that, he's not Kenny Pickett doesn't just automatically have the job. He's at to compete, man. He's gonna have to compete with a seasoned Trubisky, whether you like Trubisky or not. It doesn't matter. He's seasoned. Okay. He's gotten his lumps. he's got a fair share of hate from the media, but he's out there toughing it out, shout out to him. Then you got Kenny Pickett, right? Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh. I actually predicted this pick. So my mock draft did not do so good, y'all. Let's not talk about that. We'll save that for another episode, but I didn't do that good. Last year I got 6. I got 6 right. This year I think I got 4, but I had like Nakobe Dean going to the Eagles, but it kind of counts, but it was in the 3rd round. Anyway, we'll talk about that in another episode, y'all. But Kenny Pickett, that's my pick, man. Great pickup. But if in the event he does, let's say Kenny Pickett stinks. Let's say he stinks. He's not that good. Let's just say Chris Oladokun. Let's pull up his stats here real quick. Now, he used to play for University of South Florida over in Tampa, or USF, the Bulls. Shout out to the Bulls. Some of my favorite. I don't have a favorite college football team per se, but I just freaking love those colors. The gold and green just really does it for me. Y'all know me. I'm a hat collector. I'm going to have to cop one of them lids. Go to Lids one of these days. But check this out, y'all. 6'1", 213 pounds. Decent sized quarterback, not too bad. He played, all 4 years. He did transfer to South Dakota State, which was, what was really, really nice. And again, man, he's, look at some of these stats here, man. I mean, I really maybe pause the screen real quick and take and read this little paragraph here. But yeah, he went to Sickles High School in Tampa. That breeds NFL players. He'll occasionally run the ball, but he's a pocket quarterback. And overall, man, I really, really like this. Weakness: started every game in only 1 of 5 seasons. Gets stuck on the side of the field with his reads. Okay, so he's a hard time reading. Reads. Good thing to have a good O-line over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coverage recognition can be a problem. Anticipation as a passer is slightly below average. And then ball placement on intermediate throws needs work. So he needs work. I don't see him being the starter, but hey, folks, you just never know. Never know. All right, so Pittsburgh Steelers, my grade for them. I'm going to take and give them a solid B. I really like this draft. I mean, their defense is dang near complete. You added some of the best receivers. I like that you added quarterbacks. Now I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'll say B+. I give them a solid B+. Nothing that jumps too much off the board, other than their first pick and then George Pickens. But then out of here, they're just kind of adding depth, the rest of the field and stuff like that. Connor Hayward, though, I know you want to keep stuff in the family, and I respect that. Could have got somewhere else with that pick, but overall, I do like what I see. B+. Give Steelers. And then we're going to finish off the episode, folks, with none other than the Brownies, Cleveland Browns. Let's go. You see here, the top needs are going to be defensive line, wide receiver, linebacker. Okay. And let's read right here. It says, as great as he is, Myles Garrett can't do it alone on the defensive line. Also, there should be an opportunity for a pass catcher who can compete for reps as a wide receiver 2 or 3. Now, you guys know they lost Odell Beckham. They lost, he was gone before that in the last season. And then, of course, Jarvis Landry is potentially not returning back to the team. So let's take out this draft. Let's see what they got. Martin Emerson, cornerback, Mississippi State. That's a nice pickup. 3rd round again. You guys know that they had to get a quarterback this year, right? So they had a massive free agency. Much like the Dolphins, and much like, a few other teams where, they didn't have a first round pick. The Rams didn't have a first round pick, right? So they're in that conversation of teams that did not have that. But Martin Emerson, great pickup there. Alex Wright, DN, University of Alabama at Birmingham, or UAB. David Bell, wide receiver, Purdue. This dude's pretty solid, man. You guys know Purdue, the big name last year was Rondale Moore. David Bell's no Rondale Moore, but really nice pickup here. Actually, let's pull up his profile here, okay? And then we'll go over the rest of these draft picks in just a sec here. I just want to pull up his profile. I said profile, excuse me. And we will finish off the episode. All right, so Mr. David Bell, wide receiver, Purdue. I'm pulling it up right now. So 6'1", 212 pounds. Very nice. Ooh, 40 time, 4.65. That's actually what I used to run as a tight end. It's fast for like a tight end. But again, look, Jarvis Landry had like a 4.7. He had like probably the worst 40 time a receiver could ever have, right? There's been people working in the trenches who've had better 40 times than Jarvis Landry. But the combine isn't everything. You also got to look what's on tape. Broad jump. I like this. This is really nice right here. And let's read a little bit about him down here, okay? Let me see here. I'm going to take and read this here. So he's a 4-star recruit. Indiana's 2018 Gatorade Player of the Year. Went to Warren Central High School in Indianapolis. Let's see, fast forward. He got Big Ten Conference Receiver of the Year. That's pretty good. He grabbed 93 receptions for 1,200. Okay, folks, this is why they drafted him. 1,286 yards, 13.8 yards per catch, and 6 scores and 11 starts. He missed 1 game because of a concussion. That's nice, y'all. And look at all these strengths. This is a big list of strengths and a very small list of weaknesses. Intermediate downfield. Yeah, he got 13.8 per catch, y'all. I mean, but this is nice. Volume target with 100 plus yards in 11 of his last 17 games. Dang, I did not know that about David Bell until I just read that. That's pretty dang good. Okay, when I first saw this, I'm like, I don't know, man. I thought they could have got somebody else, man. I don't know. That's a nice little pickup, man. So David Bell, keep your eyes out for him. We'll finish this off though. Perrion Winfrey, D tackle, Oklahoma. Cade York, kicker, LSU. One of the best kickers in the draft this year. Went in the 4th round, a little early, but I like that. Jerome Ford, Cincinnati. Oh man, I love their backfield. Man. You got Chubb, you got Hunt back there. Then of course we hear. Back to the draft, we got Mike Woods, Isaiah Thomas, edge rusher, Oklahoma, not to be confused with the basketball player. And then, of course, Dawson Deaton, Texas Tech. Y'all know what it is. Look, round 6 and 7, these are more projects, and then you really build your teams around 5, 4, 3, and 2, And they had quite a bit of picks for someone who didn't have a first-round pick. I like what they did here, man. I really love it. So, overall, solid draft, not bad. I would have liked to see maybe like a receiver with this first pick, and them not getting a receiver, towards the end of round 3. Not bad overall. I'm gonna give them a solid B-. Mind you, you had a huge free agency, right? And then there's some questions, are they going to bring back J.C. Treader? I do see here they bought Dawson Deaton. So their O-line isn't too bad, but I would have liked to maybe even see like another O-lineman up in here. So B-, B as in Bravo, not to be confused with letter D. That's what I have them currently at. So anywho, those are my drafts, my draft grades for the AFC North. I hope you guys enjoy it. Comment below. Let me know what you think. I really want to hear your guys' comments. It really means the world to me. Anywho, I hope y'all have a blessed evening. Take care, man. Let's talk some football, folks. Go down in the comment section. If you want to donate to the channel, also go down below. There's my Cash App. There's my Venmo. That helps me get some cool equipment. Eventually, y'all, I do want to get some neon lights back here. I had them for a little bit, but they broke. I want to get a whole setup again. So, anywho, have a good night. We'll talk soon. Thanks for watching the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Peace.